Yeah. Sheesh. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. We gon' move like this, like this.
Hey, welcome, welcome. That was some nice music, and I've already been in the mood for all this music since we started. We launched our NCCP Technical Working Group, Dance for Hope, yesterday. I hope you're all familiar with that. But today is about the IKEA Consortium, and I am so excited to do this program today. And this program, I think, is one of the ones that has generated a lot of buzz for me. Once the flyer was out, I kept getting messages and I kept getting emails, and everybody in my lab looking at me sideways and was like, okay, wait, what's going on? But I think the buzz and the messages that I'm getting actually shows why this was needed. So apparently being comfortable in your skin to be able to say this, um, what I'm about to say, I think is needed. And we oftentimes don't want to come out and say it. So I am retiring, not today, not next year, but, and I've mentioned these in different places before, that I look forward to my retirement. But for the first time in my academic career, although I've been doing this systematically over the years, but for the first time, I am actually proactively and intentionally planning for it. Okay. And surprisingly, I am excited to do this. I am excited to do this. Okay. Welcome to Academic Diary with Professor O, where science meets real life. I am Professor Fulakemi Odedino. I am your host and anchor for this program for the IKEA Consortium. Today's conversation is probably going to be one of the most personal episodes for me that I have ever shared. Because today isn't really about retirement. Yes, all of us are going to retire one day, but today is really about legacy for me, and that to me is very important to me. Multiple times on multiple occasions within the last few years of my career, I've been very purposeful in making sure that anything that I've built, that I feel um, somebody else could take it and continue to work with it, I have been very happy to pass it on. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Um, we are going to be talking about, so let's see, I'm going to attempt to pull off if I can have the PowerPoint pulled up. I'm trying to do it. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm retiring. Now what? And I don't know why people are so surprised, and I don't know why I kept having people just messaging me about me being vocal now in saying this. um you know but for me, this is not a conversation about retirement. This is a conversation about legacy, about leadership. I'm preparing the next generation of leaders, and to me, I've often have this at the back of my mind, and I've often done this, but I'm now at the stage that I want to do it loudly, so that people who feel that they can benefit by me uplifting them, they can feel free to reach out to me so that I can uplift them. So, yes, I am not retiring today or tomorrow. Like I said, for me, this is a 5 to 7 year legacy plan. It could be less than five, it could be seven, but at most, it's not going to pass seven, because I am a big believer in, if you've really been very uh, um, satisfied with the career that you put out for yourself, and you've been able to really contribute, there is really no need for you to do it for life. I think, and I always say this to people: my career, my work is the means to an end. While I enjoy it, while I'm very passionate about it, why I feel that is something that is meaningful. It's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So retirement is not the end of leadership. It is actually the beginning of your greatest legacy. And if you've done so much work and you've contributed so much, and you do not have a transitional plan to begin to have people, the next generation, take what you have built and move it even to a higher level, then that is really a loss of legacy. You are just a leader who did not leave any legacy at all. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about why I am planning now, why legacy-led leadership is very important, why it is key to have transitional leaders, prepare the next generations, build sustainable system, and also talk about what is next for me, how I plan to keep serving, keep mentoring, and keep doing what I'm doing. And if you don't take anything out of this, as I was getting ready for today's episode, one of the things that really, really comes to my mind is this idea of your greatest publication is not the paper that you leave behind. It is actually the people that you prepare to write the next one. So it's not about you having this great scholarship or having this great career, but it's about how many people did you actually prepare to move on into these other careers. So I am not only going to be a talking head today, I actually am very excited to be joined later on with conversations with leaders that I feel I've been very proud to work with and empower. One is now a full professor, Professor Catherine Oladoyinbo, and then the other one is someone who is still an early stage investigator, just to prove to you that it's never actually too early to start building leaders. Very, very important thing to think about. So let's get right into the show. So first of all, I want to just kind of say that, I do not see retirement as something of giving up. I love my work. I love my research. I love mentoring, like I said. I love trainees, students. I love building institutions. I love building systems. I love being building nations, and I love being contributing. I think, you know, one of the things that I feel that God has gifted me with is to have very laudable ideas that even when people think about those ideas, they think, oh, that could never be done. But I've always found a way to do those ideas. And starting with my consortium that I founded in 2005, just me by myself, that has grown into quite a number of people and other stuff. So if God has given me that gift and I've been able to do it, why would I think that what I've now built and what I have should just be curtailed with me? And then now when I retire, that means it disappears. I don't think that is the way to really show appreciation for the gift that God is giving you. For everybody who knows me, I'm a woman of faith, and I honestly believe so that you should pass things on. It doesn't have to be the time that I retire that I pass things on. So, even for people in my lab, they would have noticed, even for early stage investigators, I'm looking for ways that they could be MPIs. I'm looking for ways that they could be consortium leaders. I'm looking for ways that for a program or anything that I have or research services that I have that could actually ask somebody else to begin to co-lead with me. That makes it easier for them to be able to have ownership. I'm at that stage of my career now that when I'm writing the grants that I'm writing, I'm looking for working with somebody to be the MPI. And what that means is that if I have one or two more people being the MPI on that grant, then it makes it easy for me to be able to step back and they can take the leadership of that particular grant and move on. So I'm very excited, to be honest with you. I think this is such an exciting time of my career. And I don't want to get to the stage that I want to retire because I am actually tired. I want to retire one day because I know the work is in good hands. That is to me is the mark of a leader. You are not going to continue to do that work and just hold on to it and be the person doing all this work, and then you get tired and you can't do it anymore. No, I really, once I think I'm in that stage of my career. Once I feel that all what I've built and all what I've worked with people on, that they are in good hands, it's time for me to chill and do something else. I will talk later on another academic diaries episode on what I really wanted to after I retire. A lot of people would say, "Oh, you can be a consultant. I'm sure you're going to be doing a lot of consulting." No, I don't want to do anything academic again. I want to retire and do something else and enjoy myself and enjoy my family and enjoy my grandchildren, but do something that is totally different from academia or research. So this is a good feeling thing. I want to let everybody know. I want to let the people that I mentor know that you should never be scared of looking at your retirement as something that you need to be fearful for. I think you should look at it as just a really good next step, regardless of what you want to do. So why am I coming out right now? Why start planning for something that could be 5 years time, 7 years time? No more, definitely no more than 7 years time. I've been thinking about this for several years. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I passed on the leadership of the consortium that I built for decades to other people. I started planning because I believe that, you know, one of my passion is building systems. And once those systems are built, regardless of whether it's a research program or a cancer control program or it's something else, I believe that it needs to be sustainable. It needs to be sustainable. Also, I also believe that whatever one does, and for people who are on research programs with me, on grants with me, you already know this. I always ask for you to name your transitional PIs. Who is going to be your leadership succession? Who are you training to come up and even be better than you are? Not that you are training them for them to start from the beginning. Why should they start from the beginning? If you have built a foundation and if you have built a platform that could spring people forward, and then they can start from what you built, and then it's faster for them to go on, and it actually would send them to higher places. I pray that everybody that I have mentored is bigger and better than me. That is the idea of leadership succession. I don't want them to be at my level. I want them to be bigger and to be better than what I've done. And so for me, I am very big in empowering other people. And so for me, it is very important to prepare institutions, not just projects. So every time I'm doing something, I'm not looking at, okay, this Department of Defense project, this consortium project, oh, this pilot project. I'm looking at the bigger picture of how this particular project actually adds to other stuff, right? If we don't intentionally prepare for the future, then you're leaving the future for chance. And your contributions is really nothing, to be honest with you. That is not what it means to be somebody who contributes, right? That's just the kind of person that I am. So yes, academia does not want to talk about it. In fact, there's a whole taboo around the fact that you could be 65 and 70 and you don't want to talk about retirement. You want to prove to people that, yes, I'm still strong. I'm going to continue until whatever, whatever. But, we feel comfortable talking about tenure, promotion, publication, grants, mentoring, and all this. But people don't want to talk about, how do we leave what we have built for decades? How do we leave it very well? I mean, I cannot spend almost 4 decades of my life building something. making sure it's sustainable. And then when I decide to retire, then what happens? Who carries on the vision forward? Are the systems that I've put in place strong enough to outlast, when I retire, outlast the people that I've mentored to go on and be doing the good work that it needs to do? Have we prepared the next generation to be able to lead effectively? Not that you just throw something at them or throw them into the water and then say, think or swim, whatever you want to do. But have we really worked with them so that they are strong enough? And it's not when after you retire that you ask them to do it and now they want to come back to you and ask you, but what are you doing? Will our institutions thrive without the daily presence? For me, even whether I'm at my institution or I'm working in the community, for me, the measure of success, or the measure of I have done this, is for me to be able to walk away and the work continues to go on without me. I just, I think it's sad when people think, oh, I am so important. If I'm not there, the work will not go on. That is a horrible thing to think about. It should be you are building the system in such a way that if you decide to go and do something else today, then it will survive. And that is the mark of everything. So, being successful is important, but legacy has to be intentional. I think we need to talk more about legacy and what we are leaving behind to do the work that we need to leave behind. So, people who have worked with me, they know my legacy. My legacy is to leave a legacy that lasts. For me, leadership is temporary. Leadership, and I've had so many leadership positions. At institutional level, I've been chair of my department. I've been recruited to be a dean, which I refused to be. I've been leaders in cancer centers, I've leaders in colleges. I've been leaders at a leader at national level. And it's temporary. You could decide to walk away from it anytime, anywhere. But legacy is permanent. Okay, I want to repeat that. Leadership is temporary. Legacy is permanent. I really don't want people to remember me as a leader. I want to be remembered in the legacy that I leave behind, with people talking about people that I've mentored, with people talking about people that I've trained. They are now in the highest position. They are now doing very well. That is my legacy. That's what I want to protect. I don't want to protect my leadership positions. I don't care about those leadership positions, but I want to protect the legacy so that the people that come behind me are able to do the work that they need to do, right? If an organization cannot thrive without you, then you have not built the organization. You have built a dependency. Let me say that again. If an organization cannot thrive without you, what you build is a dependency, and that is bad. You are never going to leave any legacy based on dependency. That is not the way to be able to do the work and do the work effectively. I live my life as if I want to leave a legacy, and that is very important to me, right? And so for me, this is my roadmap, and I'm sharing this very freely. And I'm saying this very freely because if there are things within within my research program or that I've built that anybody feels that, you know what, I can do that. Can I sneak in and do that? Absolutely. If nobody else in my lab or part of the people that I work with is not currently doing that, you can. You can do that. And yesterday I had a very meaningful meeting with the early stage investigators in my lab, whom I'm just in awe of them. They're just fabulous. I call them the fabulous four. They're just outstanding. And I told them I don't plan to take any training in my lab again. I don't want any postdoc. I'm closing my door to early stage investigators, but now they can. they are research associates, and they are equipped to be able to take postdoc. So if when one of them wants to take postdoc or work with people, I would be happy to be the grand mentor. But I have chosen not to do that again because I want to really make sure that they are strong. My commitment is to the four of them and other people that I work with all over the world. Make sure that they are strong and make sure that they have their footing, and that is my legacy plan. So the roadmap for me to make the impact and outlive what I've done, my tenure, is transitional leadership, is preparing the future principal investigators, is growing independent investigators, is institutionalizing these programs within the consortia that I have, is building the system so that anyone within those systems, within those operational administrative structure can survive and they can do their work and they can do it very well. So, and it's also expanding mentorship. I will be happy to continue to mentor people. I just don't want it to be formal again, because I have to, I have my commitment to the fabulous four that I have in my lab, and they can, and other people that I work with can have trainees and can have mentors, and I'm happy to lend my hand. So my goal is to leave behind leaders, systems, and institutions that will continue the mission and even go much, much farther than I have ever gone, right? So I'm not just planning for retirement, I'm planning for multiplication so that there's so many people carrying on with this work that is just going to be great. I feel excited about it. So, like I said, I don't want to be a talking head. So I'm going to bring two people, and they could never be far apart as they are, as they could be. So the first person that I'm going to bring on is uh, Professor Oladoyibo, Catherine Oladoyibo, who is a full professor. So I want to, I'm going to have a dialogue with her about her journey and what she's doing and some of the work that we've done together, and that she is the one that is now leading that work and doing much more better than I could ever dream of doing. And then I want to bring in somebody who is still an early stage investigator, but is one of the people within my lab currently that I've chosen to give MPI roles to and to lead a consortium that I feel is going to be something that is worthwhile, right? So like I said, before I bring them on, I want you, if you want to screenshot, if you want to talk about this, I want you to have this at the back of your mind, that your greatest publication is not the paper that you leave behind, it is the people you prepare to write the next one. So now I think I am ready for Dr. Catherine Oladoyinbo to come on. Um, and let's talk about it. Yes. Okay. So, uh, Dr. Oladipo, it's so great to have you right here. Do you have 5
Thank you,
minutes?
Prof.
Okay, great, 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 great. So, what I want to discuss with you, Dr. Oladipo, is just kind of talk a little bit about your growth, right? And your transition into leadership. So before I get started, please introduce yourself to everyone. And maybe talk a little bit about how we met as well. Okay. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. Okay, so my name is Catherine Oladoyinbo. I'm a professor of public health nutrition. It's nice to be here today, and it's also when Prof asked me yesterday, and when she started talking today, it was a bit emotional, and because when I think about how I met Professor Dedino, it's quite interesting. Um, I joined my institution in 2013, but one thing that one big challenge I had was mentorship. because I was an early stage investigator at that time. And I'd left my supervisor, my PhD supervisor in UI, and though he was still checking up on me, but he told me some things and said, look, I have some shortcomings as a researcher. He is actually a medical doctor and then came in to do his master's and his PhD in nutrition. So he told me he was very poor with grant writing and writing manuscripts, but very intelligent um, professor. So he told me, just pray you get another mentor that will put you through on how to do the grant writing and writing manuscripts and things like that. So when I got to FUNAB, I was expecting that I'm going to get a mentor, but it didn't work out. So 2015 came, and there was this program that was happening at Covenant University. It was a workshop. I never knew Professor Dedino. So she wrote a mail to my vice chancellor, and the vice chancellor forwarded the email to the dean of my college. And he called because I was new, so he didn't have my email. So he called me and said I should send my email, and I did. So he forwarded the email to everybody and said anybody who is interested in going should go to Covenant. There is a workshop organized by one professor from Florida, something like that, And then they nominated somebody from my department to go, and the person declined. So I've always been interested in non-communicable diseases. So when I saw that it was something related to cancer, so I felt this is something I would really love to hear what it's going on. So I approached my HOD to say, okay, if this person says he doesn't want to go, can I? So she said, if you want to, you can. So and I went there. When I got there, I met Dr. Ogo, Professor Dedino, Professor Wiala, Professor Rotimi, and some Professor Gulano, and one other young professor from Covenant, basically. And it took me a long time to just form into that gel, because it's like they all knew each other. I was the only new person, and then I joined them on a Wednesday. They started the training on Monday, and Prof said, we have to submit a specific aims page for a project for a research work. Specific aims. What is specific aims? And then she said, I know about writing proposal, but I've not heard of specific aims. So, and then she put us through on what to do. And then she said, we're submitting on Friday, and it's going to be a $1,000 for whoever gets the grant. So I spent 2 nights not able to sleep, writing in the hotel room in the guest house of Covenant. I was just busy trying to pull together the specific aims. And on Friday, I joined them on Wednesday. On Friday, we all presented, myself, Professor Rotimi, Ogunlano, and one other professor. I can't remember her name. I think she's in microbiology or something. And then it was related to prostate cancer. So at the end of the day, I was surprised when I was told that the specific aims that I wrote will be sponsored, and I have a $1,000 grant. And so that was it. And the journey started. And by 2016, she called me and said, have you finished the project? I said, project. So somehow I got the project finished, came to the US, presented. That was another story entirely. Professor Dedino will just keep you on your toes. And what I saw when I came, I was like, is this the way this woman work? And I met a lot of people. It challenged me when I got back, and I told myself, you have not started anything. You need to buckle up. And I just saw a lot of young people. I saw, people doing so well and being able to So I came back and I told myself I'm going to buckle up. And 2017, she just called me and said, I'm coming to Nigeria. And can you organize this? I said, no problem. And that was it. So since 2016, 17, 18, on and on like that, writing grants, getting mentorship, I've been developing myself, and Prof has always given us a good push. And I've also carried along um, some early stage investigators from my own
Absolutely.
end. And like that, we've just keep moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that background. That background is very important because I think I want to show that it really has nothing to do with me. I want to say that it has something to do with Professor Oladoyinbo because she's self-motivated and wanted to do this thing. And so she kind of like pushed herself. You heard what she said. They came on Wednesday, the grant was supposed to be ready on Friday. So she couldn't even enjoy the hotel room. She was just busy writing, right? So, my one question that I have for you is that I think the ABBA Center has just become a global phenomenon. But I wanted to ask from you, when I first approached you about leading the African Behavioral Research Center, and that was an NCI grant that we got funding 2 times. What went through your mind when you were first of all approached?
You know, that was in 2017. And Prof said, we want to start a center, we want to establish a center. And I felt I was happy. I was excited about it, but I know that it's going to be a huge responsibility. I was happy because now I'm not able to do what I've always wanted to do. I'm seeing the opportunity, but looking at the responsibility, I felt, this is going to be a huge one, and I just knew that I cannot just disappoint. I just have to brace up and show responsibility, show leadership, um, be able to demonstrate that I am capable. And for Prof to have approached me, I believe that it is because of the trust, you know, and I have to do everything to ensure that I don't disappoint, and I'm able to prove to her that I'm also capable and have the ability to push through in ensuring that the center stands and is able to achieve the aims and the objectives. So it was a huge responsibility. It was a mixed feeling of excitement and also um, a sense of huge responsibility on my own part.
Absolutely. So can you talk a little bit more about how the transition was between, you know, you talk about the transition, but anything that you feel that you had to do or how it helped you to transition fully, because this was an NCI funded grant twice, but now it has transitioned fully to you and Dr. Ogo in Nigeria, a center that is now a global center, and people are approaching you to do all kind of different things. So how was the transition for you? Just thinking about, okay, now it's fully ours. There's
Yes.
there's nobody from over there that is going to be working on this. It's just ours now.
Yes, those two trainings that we had when we had the NIH grant. The first time we had a training, and then the second time we had the behavioral trials training. All those trainings were preparing me, yeah, for this time. Somehow one may not recognize it, and that is one thing about leadership that people fail to recognize. As at that time, I didn't see this coming up. It was just learning. We're just trying to learn the process of how to do trainings, how to do outreaches, and so by the time after the second NIH training that we had, and then our prof said, now you're going to start leading the center. I said, how am I going to be able to do that? And it was a tough one, but thank God that while I was also doing those NIH trainings, I had some early stage investigators that I was also dragging along with me, and we're doing it together. So by the time we transitioned together with Dr. Ogo to the full ABA, all by ourselves now, it became really easy for me. And I also learned about the working with research coordinators, which is not something that is very common here. You do all the work by yourself. So one thing, Ruth was there, you know, working, and I saw the way Prof was managing her. Sheyi came on board, and so I came to an understanding that if you're going to manage this center, then I have learned from Professor Dedino. I understood what it means, though she was not on ground. But each of those periods where we had those trainings, there were some level of trainings and insights, that I had. And so by the time we transitioned, myself and Dr. Ogo, it became very easy, being able to carry along others with us.
Thank you so much. You've actually answered my next two questions, because you talked about the idea of, how you're using that leadership to transition all that and being intentional yourself in all the planning. So the next question that I then have for you is, what advice would you give to senior faculty who struggle to let go? I mean, we should not be shy about saying this. A lot of times, people just want to let go of the power of the leadership. From your experience, what would you say about, what advice would you give to others about this?
Yeah, I believe that most times senior faculty members, they want to just do it all by themselves, and you will just burn out. You will burn out, and aside from burning out yourself, when you started, you talked about legacy. There is no need building something that is not going to last after you have left the scene. So that means there was no need building it in the first place, because if you are gone, and then whatever it is that you have built is nobody is able to sustain it, nobody can continue with it, then you have actually built nothing. In Yoruba language, there's an adage that any ritual that you are doing and you don't carry the children along, after some time it dies. Nobody knows what you are doing, nobody knows how you're doing it. And so for senior faculty who feels that they don't want to let go, they are not allowing early stage investigators to learn from them, they will burn themselves out, the legacy will perish, it's not going to be sustained. They are not impacting any life, they are not allowing others to grow under them, they're not mentoring anybody. Give people a free hand, let them learn and let them do it. By the time you discover that there are a lot of hidden talents in these early stage investigators, they can even do it, you alone, you can only do as much as you can. But when you allow others, to come in, you discover that the insight and the perspective that they're going to bring into the research may be completely different. It gives you a wider outreach, a wider coverage of and you have better success, when you bring them in. If you don't just want to let it not be myself, all the time.
Thank you so much, Professor Oladoyinbo. I just want you to complete one sentence before you go, but you're not going yet. I'm still going to bring you back, but I want to have a chat with Dr. Bolajoko first, and then I'll bring both of you back. So complete the sentence. I hope you're ready. Leadership
Yes,
becomes meaningful when, complete the sentence.
Yes, when you empower others to lead beyond you. When you empower others to lead beyond you, then leadership becomes meaningful.
Amen to that. Thank you so much. We are going to call you right back, Professor Oladoyinbo. But right now, let's bring in Dr. Bolajoko. Okay, Dr. Bolajoko. I don't think you need to introduce yourself. You are the ascent phase, and everybody knows the ascent phase. But go ahead and give us just 30 seconds introduction about yourself.
I am Okpebola Joko, and I'm a research associate in Dr. Dedino's lab. I I'm very excited to be here. I have the privilege of working closely with Dr. Dedino, and I take pride in that.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. I have to say that one of the biggest decisions I have made, and I've always made in my career, is transitioning important PI responsibilities. And oftentimes, people think that just because somebody is an early stage investigator, that they are not ready, and that is far from the truth. So, the first question that I have for you, I know that I'm going to ask you like two different things, but the first one is, what was your reaction when I asked you to assume the next gen leadership and now the Mayo Clinic Captain CPI? So talk about that. So two different reactions, okay? Okay, let's hear it.
Yes, one it was huge. I was first of all scared because or like next gen leadership. I was like, oh my God, because that came after she made a statement about the next 20 years. I was like, next gen leadership? To be honest, I was very scared. And I tried to just smile. I mean, during the program in Ayoma, but I was really scared. I had to go and pray a lot about it and pray a lot for wisdom. And for the captaincy Mayo Clinic PI, that was big because that's one of my career goal. Career goal I've set since 2017. One of the things I wanted to do is to just become PI in captaincy. That will tell you how much I really hold the values of captaincy. I am, to be honest, I would say captaincy raised me, even though I'm not a clinician, but everything I know about research, I mean, everything I know about research is from captaincy and ABA Center, the trainings, the conferences. So to me, and I hold all the senior colleagues, they would never know how much I revere them because I really want to be a PI like them. That was my dream. So it was really big. I don't want to say I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Because now
recall
you're a
mentioning it to
PI.
one of my friends, Dr. Alice.
Yes, yeah. And Dr.
Yes,
Alicia was
it's
sharing when we
I'm
met
very
yesterday
excited.
that you spoke it in the air. We thank God for that. But so let me ask you, what did that decision communicate to you as a mentee? What did it communicate to you to just be trusted with this responsibility?
Honestly, it's communicated on one hand, it communicated trust. I was like, oh, does she trust me that enough? Me that I don't everything that was on my the things I never do right. I was just thinking about so many things I'm not doing right. And I was wondering. So it really communicated trust that, oh, Prof trusted me with this. This is so for me, it's a huge trust and huge that's just how I see that. Oh, I have been entrusted with this, and I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to take it with levity because this is huge for me. Next gen is huge. I see next gen as captaincy in 20 years. I see the members of our next gen now as Dr. Dedino, as Professor Rotimi, as Professor Popola, Professor Monisi, Professor Salako. That's how I see them. So to me, I see the future handed over to me. And I don't take it for granted. I'm very excited about it, but I know it comes with a lot of responsibility as well.
So, as your perspective change, how has becoming a PI? I know it's still for a short period of time now, but how has becoming a PI changed your perspective?
It's it's one of the opportunity that Dr. Dedino you have given me was many times just say, you are going to co-lead this project with me. I'll be like, and I just see that, okay, meet Dr. Bolajoko for any question. And even when people send email directly to Dr. Dedi, they'll say, go back and meet Dr. Bolajoko for the answer. Then it's actually to me is responsibility. I later learned not to be, the world does not revolve around me. It's not about me anymore. It's about everyone in our lab, everyone in our consortium that I have opportunity to be interacting with. So I feel a sense of responsibility of no longer about me, it's about the team, it's about our consortium, it's about next gen. And now that I have the privilege to lead CAPTC as Mayo Clinic PI, everything that I've been praying about it now, and to me it's huge responsibility. I want to do what Dr. Dedino is doing to ensure that everyone is growing, and that we do maintain our momentum, the consortium momentum, and our place around the world in the global stage. So I know it's a big responsibility. I need to learn and start thinking about grants. And so that's what I see. I told you something in December when we're doing grants. I'm like, is this what you do during Christmas? That's to make sure that every one of us gets paid, because it wasn't about your salary. It's about us, because there must be funding for us to be paid. It's not even so the whole money does not go to you. It's actually, okay, let's put this person, put 30% of this person's time, put 40% of this person's time, put 20%. And the people you're talking about are not even aware that you're not sleeping. You're thinking about 20% of their time, thinking about, so it's communicates a lot of responsibility to me, and not really a title.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. You've answered quite a number of questions, but I want to talk a little bit more about the early stage investigators thing. Why is it important that ESIs become PIs instead of always remaining co-investigators? Why do you think this is such an important concept?
For me, it is very, very important, because it's for you to working with, I would say, I'm just trying to look for the word, it's easy for you to just for us to point and say, oh, this person is not doing well, that person is not doing well, that one is supposed to do this. Now, as a PI, you have to make some very important decision that would affect everybody. And then when I'm still co-investigator on some of those, but I don't really care. I just come. I know that the work is going on. I know Dr. Dedino is going to sign it. I know Dr. Dedino will just send it. But now, as a co-PI, I'm more deliberate about looking out for metrics. Then when Dr. Dedino talks about metrics, I'll be like, metrics. And when she's so for now that I'm an investigator, I know what the outputs are, I know what the expectations are, and I am looking out for metrics. So then I'm like, oh, Dr. Dedino did not meet with me. Oh, Dr. Dedino canceled my meeting. Oh, Dr. Dedino is not meeting. But now I see that, okay, it's not just about the meeting alone. We need to get to action. We need to be out there doing the work and making sure we meet our measure. There are two different perspective. To me, it's actually a sense of more responsibility. I became more not only responsible to Dr. Dedino, but even to my colleagues, who we must justify what we've been doing. I must be able to justify all their time that they have been putting into that project. Because sometimes, even when we put a lot of time into the project, we're not even reporting it. We're not even talking about, so we have to write manuscript, we have to write report, we have to make sure that what others did are accounted for in the report. Imagine somebody spent 10, 15 hours on a project and it did not show up in the report. That's a lot of time, and it's not fair to that person, even though the funders may not ask us why, or of course they didn't know, maybe what we even submitted was great and they are even praising it, but somebody's time has not been accounted for, and that is not fair to that colleague who has invested a lot. So I see it, I mean, it's actually a sense of responsibility, and I appreciate that opportunity for leadership. I see leadership is not just dictating, it's actually a sense of accountability and responsibility.
Yeah, very very great response. We can bring Professor Oladoyibo back, and if for the people who are viewing, if you have any questions, please feel free to. I think we will have a chance for about 2 to 3 questions. But while Professor, yes, I see Professor Oladoyibo here now, but I want you to complete the sentence. You have two of your mentors here because Professor Oladoyibo actually was your original mentor, right? So now I want you to complete the sentence, Dr. Bolajoko, and then I will have Professor Oladoyibo grade you. The greatest gift a mentor can give is what?
Is the opportunity to lead under their mentorship,
Hmm. Hmm.
because that's the
Hmm.
only way you can really know that you're learning, hands-on opportunity.
Hmm. Hmm. Professor Oladoyibo, what do you think about that? Did she answer us right? Is that good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yes, that is really great. So while we are waiting for questions to
Dr.
come
Ladoibo
up,
did not mention,
go ahead, Dr. Bolajoko.
I want to say something about what Dr. Ladoibo did not talk about. When she came for that Covenant University meeting, she was on crutches.
Yes, that's true. She was not feeling well. I think she had an accident or something like that. Yes. So that takes a lot
Yes,
of
yes,
commitment.
she had an she had a POP on.
We can't hear you, Professor Ladoibo. I don't know whether you're saying something
Can
or
you
not.
hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it was when I was coming to the US, when Prof called me to get the to ask me if I had completed the research work, and I was on crutches actually,
Oh.
and I had to get it done anyhow. I cannot just disappoint
Mm,
that
mm,
trust.
mm, mm, mm. As we have the questions coming in 30 seconds or less, let's start with Professor Ladoimbo. What does legacy mean to you?
Wow. Legacy is simply allowing others to continue from where you stop,
Love that.
giving
Love that.
others giving others the capacity.
Absolutely. I love that. Dr. Bolajoko, what does legacy mean to you?
Yeah, to me, I think that's legacy is having. I mean, your legacy are those people that will be there when you're not there, and they will continue the work. That's so giving others the opportunity to work with you, hands-on training. So making leadership, making people like you behind. I mean, leaving them behind, leaving people like you behind.
Yeah. Great, great, great. So we have a first question. What are the first steps someone can take today to begin creating their own 5-7 year legacy plan? I love this question. I'm happy to answer it first. I think identifying who your transitional leaders are very important, because they literally are the legacy that you are holding behind. And then the question then becomes, have you really done anything to make sure that they have the capacity to continue? And that is really key. I don't see, to me, it's very similar. It might not be exactly the same thing. It's very similar to what you want to do with your children to make sure that they can survive and be productive adults. It's the same with your career. It has to be somebody who is able to do that. But Professor Oladimbo, what do you think? What are some of the first steps you can take to begin creating legacy 5 to 7 years plan?
Yeah. You need to identify those who are going to take over from you, but not just identifying them. You need to give them the capacity to be able to do it. Because if you just identify them and you don't enable them to be able to do, if you try to micromanage and do everything by yourself, that capacity will not be built, and
Yeah.
they don't understand, they don't know how. Even when you leave and you put them in the position, they don't know what to do, they don't know how to do it. But when you give them the capacity while you are still there, and you give them the space to express themselves, you can be sure that you have started building a sure
Mhm.
legacy.
Yeah, that is really, really a great point. I'm going to turn the question around for Dr. Bolajoko. What are the steps that you would want somebody to leave a legacy in you? What do you want them to do? So, how does that seem to you? What would you like them to do? For Dr. Bolajoko.
I would I would want them to just yeah, someone that is I mean, I want them to listen to me. For example, as an investigator, we need people that can read, that can help us review. You know, I would want someone that can help me look at my work, who can critique without, I mean, let me know what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. And can also, sometimes some people know everything that we are doing wrong, but they cannot even tell us how to make it right.
Mm,
So I would like someone that can listen.
mhm. Very great feedback. Very great feedback. I think we can take one more question. Before we end, this has been a great dialogue. I love having both of you on here. You're going to receive more and more invitations. You did great. How do you balance preparing for retirement while making impactful contributions in your career? I think that's a great question. So for me, actively preparing is actually making impactful contributions, to be honest with you. So, and the way that I make the impactful contribution is not necessarily through me, it's through other people. So, it means that I'm thinking about, I still have goals that I want to achieve. I still have vision of what I want to do. But now those goals, those visions, those work, it's not about me doing it. Now it becomes about, let me reach out to Professor Ladoibo. Can you please do this? Let me reach out to Dr. Bolajoko. Can you take this over? That's how you are actually actively preparing. It does not mean that the impactful contributions that you make in your career has to be just you. And you have to shine the light on other people. It's not about you all the time. You should be very comfortable shining the light on other people. You should be very comfortable letting other people be the one that is in the limelight. So, thank you so much, Professor Oladoyinbo. And thank you so much, Dr. Bolajoko. Still hang on because I want us to dance out of here because we are
Okay.
promoting we are promoting a dance for hope for technical working group. But I wanted to say that, listening to both of you reminds me why I am so excited about the future. And retirement is not about disappearing, it is actually about multiplying. Just think about, being able to now retire and chill and know that people like you are really are there to carry on the torch and carrying on the work. I feel so blessed, and I thank God for the ability to have this being done. As I said earlier on, the greatest publication we leave behind isn't the paper, it is the people. And to every academic that is watching me today, please don't wait until retirement to start building your legacy. Don't wait until the last year. Prepare someone, share opportunities, transition leadership, multiply impact. One day, someone else will sit in your office. You should be very comfortable making room for them to begin sharing it with you right now, so that they can be highly effective in sitting in that office. The question I want you to know isn't whether they will replace you. The question is that whether they will be ready to carry your legacy. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special episode of Academic Diaries with Professor O. It has really, today has been really very meaningful to me, and I want to thank Professor Oladoyinbo and Dr. Bolajoko for sharing their journeys with me. Remember, leadership is not about holding on to power. Leadership is about creating opportunities for others to lead. Until next time, keep learning, keep mentoring, and keep building a legacy that will outlive other people. Now we dance for 1 minute. I want to see your steps. Everyone, we are dancing
Olajoko
for.
cannot dance.
I know. Yeah, she's trying. She's like something now. She's boxing, but I want to see your steps as we dance for hope for the Nigerian National Cancer Control Plan, social determinants of health initiatives. We are going to be providing that information. So let's dance, everybody watching us. The music on, even if it's for 30 seconds or 1 minute. DJ. Come on, Dr. Bolajoko, Doctor. I know you can dance, Professor Oladoyinbo. Don't tell us you are not a professor and you don't want to dance.
Bolajoko dance.
Okay, yes,
I am dancing.
let's do
I
it.
am shaking.
Okay, bye now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, bye.
Bye.